Hey, it's TK, Irish at Camp Kennerk podcast. It's Sunday. It's sports. It's baseball. And we're talking baseball. We're talking about something really cool. We've been following the minor league baseball leagues, and to hear all these crazy names, like the Tin Caps and the all the other names. Well, I did some research and trying to figure out why in the world do they name their team such crazy things. Well, it comes to find out there's two old friends, Jason Klein and Casey White. They were high school buddies and they loved mascots. For some reason, sports mascots, they just, that was their deal. So, they got into the marketing business. They did some work with the San Diego Padres. And then they had this idea that, well, let's do a contest to find a name for a local minor league baseball team. So they created a company called Brandios. And Brandios is the premier marketing company for the minor league baseball leagues. They have created companies such as Rocket City Trash Pandas, or Doug's favorite El Paso Chihuahuas, or the Leon Valley Pig Irons. So if you look at that at first, you go, what in the world? How do they come up with this stuff? I mean, they just lay awake at night? Well, yeah, they do. They lay awake at night. And what they really do is they get the community involved, and they have naming contests, surveys, and they want to bring back the identity of the market into the name of the process. So think of this was my favorite one right here, Hartford Yard Goats. Now, I have no idea how that all comes about, but it is an amazing idea. They got the Birmingham Rumble Ponies or the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, Amarillo Sod Poodles. What is a sod poodle? I have no idea, but it's fun. The logos are exciting, and they put together, in-game promotions, merchandise, and anything that they could sell a ticket for. Well, the Akron Rubber Ducks, they won an award for the best new logo branding, and the Rocket City Trash Pandas was also very popular. So when next time you go to one of your minor league games, whether it's the Fort Wayne Tin Caps or the El Paso Chihuahuas or the any of them, you'll find that name is based from history of the community. So it's not somebody just pulling a name out of the hat. There's a lot of research goes on to this, and they've really hit a home run on this game, on the naming rights program. So Doug and Amber, they even did your Chihuahuas there in El Paso. So it's pretty exciting. Now we got the method to the madness. We were talking about Johnny Appleseed tin caps, the tenderloin sandwiches. So now it all comes together because now this week is the beginning of the season. So I think Friday is the first game for the Tin Caps to play the Lansing Lugnuts. So then they're off to the season. So what do you got going on for the season opener, Douglas?
TK, so good to see you on March 22nd, our 70th podcast. We have really, really moved along on this podcast and doing our sports on Sunday morning, along with all the other men in the galaxy on a Sunday morning where they got their cup of coffee. You got your cup of coffee?
Look with
All
confidence,
right.
buddy, right
Oh,
here.
yeah. Checking the sports scores. And your story about the marketing of the brand names for the minor leagues is absolutely excellent. I did not know that. And thank you. But before we begin about baseball, I have to bring up something that is very dear to my heart. Okay. March 19th, 1966. Texas Western University, my alma mater, where I went to school, Texas Western University, the miners, and the reason they're called the miners is because They're in part, El Paso's in part of the Rocky Mountain chain. And the school, originally called the School of Mines, started in 1919, has an actual working mine in the mountain. And this is where a lot of geology miners go there to learn how to be a miner, how to dig stuff. That's where they
Well,
go.
Douglas, I got a quick question here. When I hear minors, I thought, does that mean everybody on the team's under 18?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Anyway, on March 19th, 1966, the Texas Western Miners won the NCAA championship. Okay. And it was a beautiful, beautiful final game because the team was coached by Don Haskins, a legendary coach because he had coached a couple of members of the Olympics in the '64 Olympics, one of them being Bad News Barnes in the Olympics. And then a couple of years later, he coached the Texas Western Miners championship team. Now, the final game was legendary because it was coached by a man named Adolph Rupp of Kentucky. And he was an avowed racist. He was one of the worst, okay? He was public about it, blah, 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 blah. And they played Team Kentucky, and the Miners beat Kentucky 72-65. And on that team were two NBA players, Pat Riley, who went on to a great season in the NBA, and then as a coach for the Lakers and the Miami, what are they called? The Heat? Yeah, the Heat.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there was Pat Riley and Louis Dampier. So two, yeah, and they beat him. And the subsequently in 2006, they made a movie about it starring Josh Lucas called Glory Road. Josh Lucas played Don Haskins. And so what's interesting about the Miners that year, they were 28-1. Figure that out. That's basketball. I don't care
That's
who you are. That's basketball. And in the El Paso area, the members of the team. Now, Glory Road was marketed as all black team or a black starting five for the team. And it may have happened, but the team, when I was there at the time, El Paso is pretty much Heinz 57, a little bit of everybody because of the military there and right there on the border. And the players are legends. They are legends. And I'd like to read them off. Bobby Hill, David Lattin, he was known as Big Daddy, Harry Flournoy, Orson Artis, Willie Worsley, Neville Shedd, Willie Cager, Louis, I can't read that. I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me get my glasses here. I can't even, I should have been a doctor. I can't read my own writing. Okay. So, Louis Bodine, Dick Myers. I actually met Dick Myers later in life here in Dallas and no, in New York City. Togo Riley, Jerry Armstrong, David Palacio, and Preston Ledoux. No, yeah, Preston Ledoux. So it wasn't an all black team. It was some Mexican guys, some cowboys, some black guys, and whoever else was on the team. And so it went on to win. And in the El Paso area, these people are big. And it was the 60th anniversary on Thursday, March 19th. Now, you asked about some, and then now here's another thing. Okay. Now, you and I love the whole aspect of marketing, right? The school started in 1919, and it was the School of Mines. School of Mines. Okay, then they changed the name to Texas Western College. And then, in the greatest moment in their life, the school, They win the NCAA championship. It was on TV, and it's actually on YouTube, and you can see the entire game, and it's all black and white. So you're sitting there like, what are we looking at? That sort of stuff. But it's great. It's really great. And in 1967, the powers that be changed the name of Texas Western to the University of Texas El Paso, UTEP. So all of this work to build a brand in 1967 was lost. So now you go, well, what's Texas Western? What's UTEP? UTEP sounds like a foot disease. My
Yeah.
brother had UTEP.
Oh my goodness gracious. He lost
Yeah.
3 toes.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. So all of a sudden, I had to start all over again, building a brand. Now the powers that be can do this. That sort of stuff.
Well,
So
academia has never been the strong point when it comes to common sense. They got the ivory tower going on there, Doug the neighbor,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
they need to come down there. They need to get their feet on the ground and figure out.
They need to have a cup of coffee with us.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We'll set them straight.
We'll set them straight. Now, Doug the neighbor, free advice for $1. I got the retro hats and the retro shirt, and along with the new one, so it's okay. Why didn't they call it Texas Western College at University of Texas El Paso? You see, so they could carry it on over. No, they just want change the brand name. It'd be like Cadillac all of a sudden changes their name to Morgan's. Well, we're more. We used to be a Cadillac. Now we're a Morgan.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So really bad blunder. Yeah,
Mhm.
bad. It goes up, ranks up there with the Coca-Cola fiasco.
Oh yes, new Coke.
New Coke, yeah, and then they went back to the old Coke. It just
Mhm.
really ranks up there. And but I'm waiting on their call. You know,
Well, Douglas, maybe you need to give them a call and say, by the way, I'm
I
Doug the
do
neighbor,
well
and I got free advice for $1, and I'm going to give it to you for free.
because I'm an alumni. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, my donation to you. And now they didn't know who I was when I was going to college, and I did get a degree. They gave me one. I eked out.
Mhm.
Amazing. But now I want monthly. I get a letter that states, "Well, you donate money to us." Well, I'll donate money to you if you give me back all the money I paid to go to school there.
Hey, what can you say? You have to start somewhere in the negotiations.
That's true. That's true. Now, the reason we bring this on up is because of it's been 60 years, 60, yeah, 60 years, yeah, March 19th, and we're doing our 70th podcast, our sports show, and we're in the middle of March Madness, which is a beautiful, beautiful time of the year. I'm absolutely loving it. And here's some to catch you on up. Uh, University of Texas here at Austin played Gonzaga last night. Okay, and they beat them 74-68, and it was wild. We were watching it over at the HEB. Yes, the HEB grocery store has a pub upstairs, kind of a prototype for things to come in the community, and it was wild. 74-68, and they beat Gonzaga, and TCU lost to Duke 81-50, and Texas Tech is playing Alabama today at 8:45. Okay. And then Houston beat A&M 88-57. Boy, they really that's what's that, 30 points? They beat them by
Yeah,
30
yeah.
points. Yeah, that's something. So that's the March Madness going on right now. It's a beautiful time of the year, and I just love it. I just love it.
Yeah, it's March Madness is a time that I really make an effort to sit down, watch the games, because as you know, Doug the neighbor, sometimes a team will be down 18, 19 points, come back and win, and these kids just don't know how to quit.
Yeah,
And they know that this is the only you win, you play. You
Yeah.
lose, you go home.
At
So
win or go home, win or go
yeah,
home, and it's beautiful. And buzzer beaters, and the kids get so excited. You watch the pro game, nobody's excited. Nobody's
yeah.
really getting.
My
You,
favorite part, though, Doug, is when the cute little female sports announcer interviews the 7 foot 2 inch center, and she's maybe 5 foot 1, and she like looks like she's on a step ladder, holding her hand all the way up, trying to catch his boys.
that is so true. That is so true. It's a beautiful time of the year. Basketball, March Madness. We love it. But this is our Sunday show, and we are talking about the minor league baseball and my El Paso Chihuahuas and your Fort Wayne Tin Caps.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now,
Everybody's so excited.
everybody's so excited. Now, we chatted at length about the minor leagues. You did a very good point there about how some of the names come up. And so, what I wanted to do is just list where the El Paso Chihuahuas are. They are in the Pacific Coast League, and there is a West Division and an East Division. Okay. And the teams that are in the West Division are the Las Vegas Aviators, who are part of the Oakland team. Oakland's now playing in Sacramento, and then they're coming to Las Vegas. The Reno Aces, who are part of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Sacramento River Cats are part of the San Francisco Giants, and the Salt Lake Bees and the Tacoma Rainiers. So there's five teams in the West,
Mhm.
and then in the East, you have the Albuquerque Isotopes, named after the Homer Simpson. Uh,
Yes,
and then you have the El Paso Chihuahuas, go doggies. Okay. The Oklahoma Comets, the Round Rock Express, that is here in Austin, just up in Round Rock. And then the Sugarland Space Cowboys down in Sugarland, which is 600, just outside of Houston. 200, yeah, Sugarland's just outside of Houston. So those are the teams, the 10 teams in the AAA of where my doggies, my Chihuahuas, my barking Chihuahuas are playing this year, and the season starts next week.
I know,
Oh,
isn't it great? Now we
I'm
got the There you go. Now we have the opportunity to watch these young men who love the game, have dreams, desires to make it to the show or the big leagues, but they gotta work. They gotta play their game. They gotta do their job. And I can't think of a more competitive way to make a living than playing minor league baseball because there's always 10 guys behind you ready to take your place if you get hurt or you hit a slump.
That's right. And baseball is very, very American. And in the minor leagues, hope lives.
Exactly. And and we've talked about some of the players that were in the minor leagues for 8, 9, 10 years because they just knew they just got the one extra break, just one, uh, would make it work.
Absolutely true. Hope lives, and it's absolutely a beautiful situation watching the endurance, the keep afterness, like my phrasing, my English. I slept in English class too. Keep afterness, keep. I'm great. The DTN dictionary. Keep afterness.
Yeah. And I've noticed that over the years, Douglas, that you really do have a way with you put your words together. A wordsmith. You have a very special wordsmith skill.
Oh, thank you very much, TK. That's not exactly what the English teacher said, or my parents. TK, that's all I got for you. Play ball.
Aaron Go Brawl.